What's up, everybody? It's Mark from Lawn Creeps Limited out here in the greatest town of all time, Villa Park, Illinois, the Garden Village. We are going to go ahead and start getting into some discussion of the soil food web. Hey, welcome back. It's good to see us because it's been a while since I've done a video. We're kind of coming into the heart of my growing season here. It's been a crazy year, right, with the rainfall and some of the temps and all of that stuff. I mean, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't going on and on about the weather, but it has been strange. All in all, my lawn has been an absolute trooper. For a while there, it did have a little touch of the of kind of some leaf spotting and stuff like that, but you know what it did? It grew it out, and all of that soil biology, all of those beneficial bacteria and that beneficial fungi sort of took care of the bad guys. Okay, I did not run down to the store and I did not buy a fungicide. I did not panic. I just sort of let nature take its course. I did not panic, knowing full well that I've got this enormous ensemble of characters and players down underneath this grass that we're going to take care of everything. Were some conditions there that maybe invited some bad guys in? You know, maybe things started happening with some anaerobic sort of activity with all of that rainfall and rainfall and rainfall and all of that stuff. And maybe that sort of kind of changed the diversity, changed the numbers, changed the cast a little bit as far as all of those little micro creatures. But I knew, I held off knowing that it was going to be just a matter of time before conditions came back that were conducive to good grass, and getting that soil biology sort of back into the proper nutrient cycling. I have 100% faith and trust in my microbiology in this soil. This soil is a gift. Inside this soil, it's like exploring space. When people looked up at the sky and wondered what was up there, and as time went on, as telescopes came, they saw out there, they saw galaxies and all of that stuff. My soil life is messed up. I left it out all night. The soil is no different. The soil is no different. I think that there is still an untapped resource down here. People are getting hip to the benefits of that soil biology and what it can do for our grass, our shrubs, our perennials, all of our natives, everything that our trees, everything that grows out of the ground by roots inside this soil. Everything is dependent on this microbiology, and that is what I believe in. I don't think we need to buy product upon product upon product and do all of this stuff and spend all of this time operating like surgeons on our lawns, man. We can do so much less, but just do the right things and believe in the right things to produce an amazing grass. Case in point, I've done very little to this thus far because I've built my soil here. Always have been and always will be a firm believer in Mother Nature and letting Mother Nature kind of take the driver's seat. I am here to team with this soil biology. The shadow knows, and that is all because of what is going on down there. It is all because of the soil food web. Soil food web. I mean, that is kind of an illustrative sort of way to explain the food chain of all of that microbiology. There's a lot more to this whole philosophy, this whole way of thinking, a lot of symbiotic relationships, a lot of complex sort of happenings down underneath that soil. But the soil food web is basically like a food chain, but it is not linear in that this guy eats that guy and that guy eats that guy until they get to me and you. We're on top of that food chain, right, as human beings. I don't think the dinosaurs are coming back, or else they would be at the top, I would imagine. Or Godzilla comes down to Earth and figures that all out. So again, I mean, it is a food chain more or less, but illustratively, you can imagine what a web looks like. It is non-linear in that maybe this predator kind of meals on that prey at a certain time, maybe jumps to this prey, and you times that by many various, you know, predator and prey, and you kind of have a food web. Okay, so that's That's what the soil food web is. But it's all about all of those players down in that soil, and what they do with soil structure, nutrient retention, just nutrient cycling, and all of that stuff. It's key. It's huge. It's getting bigger as we speak. People are figuring out, wow, this is really the future. This is permaculture. This is kind of what we got to get to. We have to stop thinking about using, so many different chemicals to achieve things when everything is there in the soil. All of the nutrients we need are in that soil. It's whether or not they can become available to the plant. And that is through these microorganisms and how we have the right mix, the right diversity, and all of that. At any given moment, it can change, it can alter, depending on us, depending on maybe nature, and all of that stuff. So we have to really just think about it in a different way. If you do want to go this route, I think the gardeners of the world have kind of adopted this, and they're more apt to adopt this way of thinking. It is the lawn care people that is kind of a hard sell on this. Now, in the last couple years, the lawn care world here, they've gotten hip to using organic material to feed the microbes and all of that stuff. But at the same time, these guys are kind of doing the cha-cha-cha. They're going back and forth because they are doing that, but at the same time they're using fungicides, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, all the sides, and as well as synthetic fertilizers. They think that you still got to get that shot of synthetic. There's a misconception about the soil temps and the activity of the microbes in that soil during fall and or spring. Granted, maybe the activity is ramped up in the warmer weather. In summer, we've got more and more species going. We've got more activity going on down there, but there are different species of bacteria and fungi during different weather time frames. Every second of every day, there is organic microbial activity going on in your soil. They do not take a break. They do not go on vacation. You would be a fool to think that there is no organic happenings in your soil year round. It's that train of thought that you just kind of got to let go of if you want to go this route. It's hard. It's hard as a traditional lawn man to kind of let go of that. Just dying to put that synthetic fertilizer down. When you're using that stuff, that is detrimental to this soil food web, and it's altering it. It's using that side door to give the grass plants the nutrition it needs, and that is that takes away from the natural processes. And then suddenly, lo and behold, you have to do more and more. You have to continually put that down. You're out in this yard just operating on this thing more and more and more. Let all of that soil life do the work for you. We don't need to get all of this stuff. There's a lot of pitchmen out there now. There are a lot of products. There are, these micronutrient products and this and that and soil conditioning products and stuff like that. But all of that is there for you in that soil via this soil microbiology, the billions and billions of bacteria, of fungi, of the protozoa, the beneficial nematodes, the microarthropods, the earthworms, the slugs, the bugs, the spiders, the pill bugs, springtail, centipedes. Above the soil, you got your feathered friends, you got the birds, you got toads and reptiles, you got mammals, you got the little chipmunks and squirrels and all of that stuff. Don't get your pellet guns out, man, and don't be an ass and talk about shooting these things. So, sorry, I had to get on the soapbox right there. But yeah, each player of this soil food web, both the microorganisms in the soil and all of those other animals, mammals, creatures, reptiles above the soil, the earthworms, of course, we have to know that each one of these players are going to take care of us. We have to trust in that. We have to utilize that, and we are going to get into every player of the game, not every single species of every player. I don't have that much time. I wouldn't be able to do that every day for the rest of my life if I tried. I'm going to leave you with this thought before we get out of here, is that the plant is in control. At the top of that soil food web is maybe us. We can make or break this thing by what we decide to do here and how we decide to inoculate our soil. But it also, though, is the fact that this plant is the center of the soil food web, and it controls everything. It starts everything. This plant is not just a pretty little thing that you're standing on and making stripes in over here in your lawn. The root system. Everything is going on that we've been talking about thus far around that rhizosphere. The rhizosphere is the area right outside the root system. Whatever it needs, it is in control of it. It wakes up, it grows the bacteria. And that's kind of the start of this whole food web. And it does that through its roots, through what's called exudates. Okay, it is a part of the photosynthesis process. Those sugars and proteins are kind of exuded, if you will, through those roots. And that, again, attracts the bacteria and stuff. And whatever is needed, whatever the plant needs more of, you know, that all happens down there, beginning with those root exudates. And that's kind of where this soil food web thing starts coming into play, because all of those nutrients and whatnot are immobilized in the fungi and bacteria. And then the next part of the web comes in, the next part of the food web comes in, and that's going to be your protozoa and nematodes. And they meal on the fungi and bacteria, and then their waste becomes the nutrients for that plant that it needs, right around that rhizosphere. How convenient that everything is happening right around those roots, and it was started by the plant. So, Mother Nature. So, think about that for a minute. We're going to leave it at that. There's a lot more to this, a lot more in that regard, what I just mentioned, and how it ties in with every other player in this game here. And it's mind-blowing, it's awesome, it's something to think about. I'm gonna cap this off because it's already a long video. I wanna try to keep these things short, but I'm gonna get me a microscope, man. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna start digging, I'm gonna start looking under microscopes and determine, what's going on down here. But yeah, we're going to talk about soil structure. We're going to talk about nutrient retention. We're going to talk about the ability to hold water. We're going to talk about all of that stuff here ongoing. If it takes every video that I do from now until winter, then so be it. It's something I believe in, and it's something for you to think about. If it's interesting to you, then just stick with me. I promise not to get too soapboxy. No one's wrong, man. Do your yard and your lawn how you want, by all means, my God. But this is me. This is something that I've gotten more and more into over the previous years, and this is where I'm going. Now, a quick thing here is that maybe I represent that guy. A lot of hardcore lawn care people are new homeowners, people of a certain age, I would think mostly in their 30s. And I've been a homeowner since 2008. I've been doing things to this yard and in this house since about 2003. So it's like, where do you go from there, from where you are maybe as a new homeowner, super gung-ho on improving your lawn and getting it nice and the stripes and the thing. And then after a while, it's like, okay, where do we go from here? What do we do? Do we want to keep just spending all kinds of money on things? Groundskeeper Willie out there, part of the Chicago Cubs ground crew, or the White Sox, if you're the lawn tools watching this. Or do we want to spend less time operating on this thing and have a healthy grass, play on it, do other stuff with the family, yada, 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 do other stuffs to the yard and all of that. So something to think about, man. Stick with me. Let's love Mother Nature. Let's love our yards. Let's do it. Let's get some good weather for once, man. Good weather's been hard to come by around here. So anyways, I'm going to go and we'll catch you later.
Lawn creeps.